For me, it started out just looking for a answer to a family story about my grandfather being missing in a plane crash and never being found. So I started on my journey to try to find out what really happened and to get answers for my father, as he was just a year and a half old when his father disappeared. I asked my grandmother for permission because I didn't want to open up a chapter in her life that she had never talked about previously to nobody. And that is where my journey began. Dr. Moore and Lieutenant Sullivan circled around, actually stopping by, I think it was Surprise Glacier or Mount Gilbert, and then they noticed that the actual wreckage was on Mount Gannett. They were able to land, and through all the snow, they were able to find the tail end of the plane and find the serial numbers of the tail and take several pictures to identify that it was our missing C-124. Robert Jones reached out to me and sent me some pictures where he was part of one of these search teams that tried to locate the missing C-124 a little bit later. And he sent me these photos. When I received the accident report, it kind of upset me when I seen that they were asked if anything is feasible. And he replied, anything is feasible if you're willing to spend enough time, energy, and money on it. I think my grandfather, as well as the other 51 servicemen, was worth more than X amount of dollars. And they died and gave their life for our country, and our country decided to put a price tag on their lives and leave them on the side of a mountain. The accident report I read where it discussed and speaks about the flight plan, I guess the forecast for the weather. And the gentleman was discussing that they were in the middle of doing our flight plan when they went to lunch. And our gentleman actually got onto the runway and didn't even have a true copy of the plan. It wasn't until a Smith, who was the dispatch operator, came and asked for the flight plan so that he can take it to the pilot before they took off, heading towards J-Bill. Just wondering, how does a plane take off without even having a copy of their chart or their flight plans or the forecasting for this trip? The moment I got the news that a possible old military plane had been found and it could possibly be our C-124, I could not even put into words what that really meant for me and all of my research that I had been doing for all these years. JPEG started their journey to Colony Glacier to see what they could find and what had surfaced from the missing C-124. And some of the items that were there were truly amazing to be able to see these things still preserved in ice after almost 60 years. decided that I was going to make a trip to Alaska because I needed to see for myself what they had found, and to truly get a view of what held our loved ones for all those many years. And a gentleman by the name of Ron took me on a private flight. I was able to even take the same journey that our servicemen took the day in which they lost their lives. I could not put into words what I seen up in the air. It had just snowed the day before, so there was fresh snow on the mountain and on the glacier. We went through the mountains, and a big gust of wind came by, and it kind of dipped the plane in the air. And at that moment and at that time, that was the closest I was going to ever be to my grandfather. And I closed my eyes. And I just said, thank you. Thank you, God, for allowing me to have this moment. The moment they started making arrangements for the funeral services, I made a pact with myself and my family that I would find a way to attend as many of these services as I could. In October of 2013, I lost my job, which was going to kind of make it very hard. However, God provided a way for me to be able to attend the services. And each and every last one of them were different in their own way. But it was a joyful moment for me to be able to experience that with the families. And families, I want to say thank you for allowing me to share in your moment. It meant a lot to me, and I forever treasure those moments.